Southwest. All of my brothers about it. If you ain't about it, move out of the way. Baba my chopper, I loaded, I cocky. You know I am my boy, ready to spray. Knocking them down, he be talking so proud. When the brothers do run, he got nothing to say. Boy, I'm too solid, it's all in my body. I can't get it eat, I ain't coming to play. What you mean now?
Shalom, family. That's right. So we back with another class. Today's class is, let's pull that thumbnail up. Let's read that thumbnail, please, sir.
The pains of leadership.
So I want to say this. You hear the title, you see the thumbnail. This is not a woe is me class. That's not what this is. This is a class to help those who may desire to be a leader, to help those who may think you understand the shoes that a leader walks in. You really don't understand. A lot of people think that they do. You have some people that believe that because you're a leader, life is easier for you, and it's not. And we're going to show you that in this class, in this lesson. We are going to show you that. All right? So let's kick it off first with that first video. Let's get timestamp 1. And this is an excellent video on leadership. This is, hey, soldiers on up. You ain't got this video saved. You ain't watched it more than once. Hey, you missing out. You need to have this in clutch, and you need to watch it. This is leadership in a nutshell. Play that.
Leadership really should be sculpted by those who create the leader. I don't think that the leader should ride into town like Clint Eastwood and rescue and solve the problem. I think the people have to organize and create a leader. That's what happened in Montgomery. Poor people got together and anointed the leadership. There was a big quarrel about that, and finally Dr. King was. But that's the healthy way. Yes. Too many people think that leadership is somebody who announces that they're going to run and lead and they get appointed to some job. But that is not really healthy leadership. I think, especially for an oppressed people, I think that we should nominate and anoint our leaders.
And what is the responsibility of a leader?
To be faithful to the people who gave them the assignment of leadership. I think that it's very difficult because you have to be able to withstand a lot of temptations. And all of us are mortal, and whatever our gender, the seduction, the temptation out here is awesome. And you have to be mindful of that going.
That's at the first timestamp. Okay. Yeah, you can play it to the end of it, to the end of the first timestamp. Go ahead.
And understand that leadership is also very painful. No one suffered more than Malcolm as a leader. No one suffered more than Martin as a leader. Many of his cadre. The day he was assassinated, I'm told, he pulled them into his motel room at the Lorraine and laid them out. Because he said, yeah, you all are getting drunk. You know, he said, this is getting good to you because you think you're stars now. When we come into town, everything is available to you, is getting good to you, and you've forgotten what we're all about. He said, now cut it out.
Pretty heady stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stardom.
And then he walked over to the bed and he grabbed a pillow and he started a pillow fight to break the tension. And 2 hours later, he was dead. But I think that leadership is very, very difficult from within and from without, because there's jealousy, rivalry from within, and there's abject hatred from without. And you have to be really prepared for that and learn how to deal with that. It's extremely difficult, Malcolm.
So that's heavy. If you thinking about being a leader, some sisters are married to leaders, you're not going to ever understand fully what's on your Lord's shoulders or what's on the leadership that's over your school's shoulders. But you men that's aspiring to be leaders, you on that path to becoming a leader is difficult. Like what he said, Martin Luther King had to check his entourage, the men that rode with him. Like, y'all are starting to let these different gestures that the people do for us when we come to town, it's starting to go to y'all head. He had to remind them what they was set up for. Like, I remember I heard a dumb statement one time. Brother was like, man, I want to eat first. I'm like, what? You think this what this about, getting a plate first? Your mind is on something else. Leadership is more than a seat, it's more than a position. It entails so much. And a lot of times when men start aspiring for it, they be wanting it for the wrong reasons. When sisters see they Lord get to a certain point in leadership, it might go to her head. She might be looking at it for the wrong reasons. A lot of weight is on the men's shoulders that are leaders. It's serious business. I can't say it enough, but we're going to show you in this class. Let's get the second time stamp. And wait, before we play the second one, notice what he said. He said, nobody suffered more than Martin. Nobody suffered more than Malcolm. As a leader, you going to go through some rough stuff. You are going to have hardships. You're going to have to make tough decisions. We're going to show you that in this class. It's not easy being a leader. Everybody else see the outside, or they see you on YouTube, you teaching, or they see you doing class. That's for the body. That's to get the elect. That's to bring the people in. That's what you're supposed to do. But they don't know everything that it entails. They don't know the decisions that you got to make. They don't know the people that you got to look after. All they see is the outside stuff. Y'all follow me? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's get that second time stamp.
As a kid, they used to, in Holland, the snowplows would put the snow up into these big heaps of snow. And coming from school, we would have this game called King of the Hill. And the goal is to be king of the hill. There's only room for one person at the top, and you're all fighting, slipping and sliding to get up to the top.
Hey, some of y'all brothers played that before, man. Some of y'all brothers played that before. Some sisters might have played it. It might have been a little rough back then. But he's using an analogy with leadership in the game King of the Hill. Listen good. Play.
And then one day you win, and you're king of the hill. That's when your troubles start.
Yes.
Because now you got to fight up all these other people. So leadership is not easy.
So he used the game that young boys play, King of the Hill. If y'all ain't never played it, he broke it down, but all the little boys trying to knock each other down to get to the top of the snow hill. They slamming each other, they pushing each other down, and then when you get to the top, you won, but now everybody coming for you. Leadership can feel like that. You got stuff coming at you from all different directions. This person got a problem. This person got a problem. Then sometimes it's so much going on, sometimes you can forget certain people because it's so much going on. It's so many different issues. It's so many different problems. Some people problems is more serious than others, so you got to spend more attention on this person. Then you have to make decisions sometimes that people don't like. As a leader, you got to make hard decisions that's not pleasing to the eye. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The decision might be good for the body, but some people in the body might not like the decision. Y'all understand? The decision is healthy. It's the right thing to do, but it's not what everybody favors. Y'all follow what I'm saying? From there, one thing we're going to talk about, how are leaders chosen? Because a lot of times people think a person is chosen to be a leader because of how long they've been around or because of certain skills that they got. How are the leaders chosen? Get Psalm 75 and verse 6. Some of these scriptures we know. We're going to fly through these because we got some more we got to cover. Right now, we talking about how our leaders chosen. Biblically.
Psalms chapter 75 and verse 6.
Come on.
For promotion cometh neither from the east,
Uh-huh.
nor from the west,
Uh-huh.
nor from the south.
Uh-huh.
But God is the judge.
Uh-huh.
He putteth down one and setteth up another.
So we've all heard this verse many times. You done heard this many times. You've been in the truth for a while. You done heard this verse. But we mainly hear, when our brothers are risen up, they get new responsibility or they get put over a certain office. But this is also telling you what? The Most High is the one who sets up the leaders. Understand that. That's the Lord. The Lord put every man in the position that he is in. Is some in that man's spirit as to why he's sitting in the seat that he in. You may not even see it. It's not for you to see. It's for the Lord to see. It's something about that brother. He's able to move people. He's able to do certain things. And the Lord got him in that spot so he could do those things. Everybody follow what I'm saying? From there, get 1 Corinthians 12 and 18 saying the same thing. That's why you can't be up here like what Gil Noble was saying. That's the man in the interview. He was saying with leadership, it be rivalry and jealousy. People mind be in the wrong space when it comes to that. The Lord put that man there. It's not, he rubbing elbows with somebody, so he in this spot. No, the Lord put that man there. I'm finna go in depth a little bit and show y'all that. 1 Corinthians 12 and 18. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
But now hath God set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him.
As it has pleased the men.
As it has pleased him.
As it has pleased the people.
As it has pleased him.
My feelings.
Him.
I like this person.
Him.
As it has pleased the Lord. The Lord put people where he want them to be. That's why we got certain offices and teams. If you looking at it spiritually, it's like we got a certain offices like our hope and healing. When you see like, wait a minute, you think that's a coincidence? All these people with this background got put in this office like that? That's the Lord. All these people got this experience in his background to help our people that got these different health issues. That's the Lord. How the Most High get all them together and they all on the same team like that? That's of the Lord. It's the same thing with the leaders. Man, I know this officer, he got this spirit about him, and he got this skill, he able to do this, and then this officer, that's all of the Lord. Because how we know each other? This Bible. The Most High pulled us all from different walks of life and brought us all here to fulfill his purpose. But people don't be thinking about that. They mind be fleshly. Like this a law firm or something or a company or something. They fighting to get to the top. No. Wherever you at, that's where the Lord wants you to be at. That's what we don't understand. Read it again.
But now hath God set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it has pleased him.
So don't think that you in the wrong space or, man, I'm not doing what this person is doing. The Lord probably got a whole different program for brother A or sister B. Y'all follow what I'm saying? They got certain things that they got to do while they on this earth. You got certain things that you got to do. We got to fulfill our purpose. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We got to stay in our role.
Come on.
From there, get Jeremiah 1 and 5. It ain't no coincidence that some of you men sitting here are leaders.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5.
This stuff go back before you was even born.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
We don't even be taking the time to really digest that scripture. All your friends you was around, all the people you was around, but the Lord made it so that you ended up here keeping the commandments. That's not a coincidence. Read.
And before thou camest forth out of the womb.
Before you came out your mother's womb and did that first cry like all babies do.
I sanctified thee.
He did what?
I sanctified thee.
He sanctified you. He sanctified me. He sanctified us all. Read.
And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Brothers, y'all got to understand, you was ordained to be a prophet unto the nations. That's why all that stuff you was wrapped up in, it never took hold of you like that. You was in it for a certain extent of time, but where you end up at? Serving the Lord, keeping the commandments. Right. That's not a coincidence. Some of the sisters that's married to their Lord, your Lord probably wasn't doing what he was doing before then. You think that's a coincidence? He found the truth, made a switch, and now he a leader and he in here teaching people. That was his destiny from begin. What I'm saying, probably too heavy for some. We wasn't meant to come here and build up America and follow the life of the American dream. We weren't sent here to do that. We was sent here for a purpose. Understand that. Get Sirach chapter 1 verse 14. You where you supposed to be. You ain't supposed to be nowhere else. Though I'm talking to my brothers, this go for you sisters too. Why you ain't dead? Because you supposed to be up in here. Helping push the gospel. Helping support the troops. How many drug addicts you know? How many people you know lost their life young, but you still here? Because this your purpose. Read that.
Sirach chapter 1 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So you can't say you got wisdom and you don't fear the Lord. That's the beginning of wisdom. Read.
And it was created with the faithful in the womb.
It was what?
Created with the faithful in the womb.
It was created with the faithful in the womb. So all these men that you see as leaders, that was already put in their soul before the Lord formed their flesh around their soul. Before your arms start forming, when you was an embryo, before you start developing a heartbeat, that was already put in you. That ain't no coincidence. From there, read that one more time.
To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And it was created with the faithful in the womb.
It was created with the faithful in the womb. So my brothers, this is where you supposed to be. You weren't supposed to stay a gangbanger, stay a drug addict, or whatever else you was into. That's why when you heard that call, just like the disciples, what happened? You dropped everything and you came. Think about that. It's people with college degrees, doctorates, they super smart, but they ain't in here. That's because the Lord chose you. Right. And that don't mean there's something wrong with going to school, but I'm saying when you try to match yourself up to the people that's supposed to be up here in the world, you like, but man, she know how to talk and that. No, the Lord called you. Do y'all understand? From there, get video 2. Now we finna talk about the mindset of a leader. Get video 2. And get Sirach 3 and 18. Get video 2. Play that first.
Leadership is not a rank. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a decision. Leadership is a choice. It has nothing to do with your position in the organization. If you decide to look after the person to the left of you and look after the person to the right of you, you have become a leader.
Play that
Leadership
one more time.
Leadership is not a rank.
Play it one more time.
Leadership is not a rank. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a decision. Leadership is a choice. It has nothing to do with your position in the organization. If you decide to look after the person to the left of you and look after the person to the right of you, you have become a leader.
Okay, you can stop it right there. Why am I so enthusiastic about this particular video? Because people have to understand that. He said you become a leader when you start looking after the person to the left of you, to the right of you, to behind you, when you start caring. If you don't care about the people, you cannot be a leader. Some people want to be in charge so they can run things. They want to be the HNIC. Some women want to be the HBIC. You don't care about nobody. You just want the position. You want the authority. But if you look at the revolutionaries, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Chairman Fred Hampton Sr., Kwame Ture, all the men from the past, they care about the people. If you don't care about the people, it's no need of you even thinking about leadership. Because when you become a leader, you have to have a care for the flock of God. Everybody understand that? Get Sirach 3 and 18.
Sirach chapter 3 and verse 18.
That's the mindset of a leader. A leader must care about the people he is over. Read.
The greater thou art, the more humble thyself. And thou shalt find favor before the Lord.
The greater you are, the more you must humble yourself. And then you will find favor from the Lord. You don't get put in that position and now you become arrogant. Now you become prideful. Now you are abusing people. No, the greater you are, you must humble yourself. A lot of times men want them positions. They are not humble. They are arrogant. They are prideful. They are boastful. No, you must be humble. From there, get Luke chapter 22 and verse 24. You got to be humble. That's one of the qualities that you got to have as a leader. You got to have humility. That's not saying that you be weak. That's saying people got to be able to come to you, speak to you. They shouldn't come to you or talk to you, and it's a level of arrogance coming from your speech. You got a big head. You think the light, the sun and the moon shine on you. That shouldn't be going on. That's not the characteristic of a leader. You must be humble. What did it say about Moses?
Shalom. The scriptures say that Moses was the meekest man on earth.
The meekest man on earth. Meek means what? He was humble. He was submissive to what? The word of God. He was the most humble man, the most meekest man on the planet. That had to be wrote down because that's a trait that a leader must have. From there, read that. Luke 22, verse 24.
Luke chapter 22 and verse 24.
And we starting right here for a reason. You finna see some Negro stuff. I've been doing good not saying that word, man. Even when people be acting like it. Go ahead. Luke 22, 24. We starting right there. Y'all gonna see why I say some Negro stuff going on. Read that.
And there was also a strife among them.
Now, who is this right here? This is the disciples. When it says a strife amongst them, they was arguing. Let's see what they was arguing about. Read.
Which of them should be accounted the greatest?
Read it again. This happens in Israel. Can I get a witness? This happens in Israel. Read it again.
And there was also a strife among them. Which of them should be accounted the greatest?
So they up here arguing. This is Passover. They arguing during Passover about which one of them should be the greatest. Which one of them should be the top dog. This is what they arguing about. Christ been talking to them, teaching them these 3 years that, look, I ain't finna be here long. They finna come after me. They finna get me. That's the bigger fish to fry, but they sitting here arguing about who the greatest. I've seen men do this. Men worrying about why this person is here, why this person is there. That's not your business. You need to worry about your progression. You need to worry about why you not elevating. But we don't do that. Read that again.
And there was also a strife among them. Which of them should be accounted the greatest?
Read on.
And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them.
Read on.
And they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors.
So Christ, like, the heathens do that with each other. They be battling to see who finna be the top man. That's what they do. Read.
But ye shall not be so.
Y'all not supposed to roll like that. We not supposed to roll like that. Who gonna be the top dog? Who gonna be the top shotter? Who gonna be the one that run everything? We not supposed to be like that, my brothers. You sisters, y'all not supposed to do that in the offices that y'all in. I'm telling you, sisters be losing their mind over that term, spearhead. I'm telling you, they be losing it. Who's the spearhead? They be losing their mind. I'm spearheading this event, losing their mind. worrying about titles, with all this stuff that we got going on. Read on.
But ye shall not be so.
We're not supposed to do that. Read on.
But he that is greatest among you,
If you are the greatest, you are the most senior, you are the most experienced, you are that person. Read.
let him be as the younger,
Be as the younger. Read.
and he that is chief, as he that doth serve.
We must have humility. Understand that. You shouldn't be walking around with that big head. You arrogant. You think you the stuff. You think your ish don't stink. That should not be your spirit. Everybody understand that? Especially my brothers. Though today we talking mainly to the men, sisters, y'all can glean something from this as well. From there, get 2 Corinthians 11 and 21. We starting right there for a reason. So now we going to the church of Corinth. If y'all reading y'all 4 chapters, you studying, you know, out of all of the congregations that Paul was writing to, the Corinthians used to have the most problems. They had the most issues. So right here, Paul got to set Negroes straight, because you had some young men who was feeling themselves in the congregation of Corinth. They felt like they was on his level, so he had to lay down his resume, like, let me cool you down, because you feeling yourself. Read.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 21.
Read.
I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak.
Read.
Howbeit, whereinsoever any is bold, I speak foolishly. I am bold also.
He say, are you bold? I'm bold also. Read.
Are they Hebrews? So am I.
Read.
Are they Israelites? So am I.
Read.
Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I.
Read.
Are they ministers of Christ?
Read.
I speak as a fool. I am more.
He say, I am more. I put bricks in. He had to let them know, like, y'all sitting up here big up in y'all self, making this so that y'all up there. Let me lay down my resume, because y'all need to be humble. Y'all need to chill out. Read.
In labors more abundant.
Uh-huh.
In stripes above measure.
Uh-huh.
In prisons more frequent.
Uh-huh.
In deaths oft.
He said, man, I'm in prison. I'm going to jail over the word of God. Read.
Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one.
So Paul got whipped 40 stripes, save one. So he got whipped 40 times. You got to imagine, he talking to the big-headed brothers like, you ain't getting whipped on your back for this word. What we talking about? Read.
Thrice was I beaten with rods.
He said, thrice I got beat with rods. I got beat with sticks. You ain't went through that. He got to set them straight, because they getting big-headed. Read.
Once was I stoned.
He said, once was I stoned. If y'all ever read that in Acts, that's when he went to the place he got stoned. They prayed over him, and then he went right back to the place to start teaching again. We got to pray for that spirit, brothers. Paul was a problem in a good way. Read.
Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
He was shipwrecked. For the gospel's sake, he went through a shipwreck. Read.
A night and a day I have been in the deep.
You got to think about this. I remember I was in, what museum was that? I can't remember what museum that was I was in. But they had a replica of the men. I think that was Pearl Harbor, like they was floating on pieces of the ship. It say he was shipwrecked. A night and a day I have been in the deep. Imagine being on a piece of a boat in the dark. That's what he went through for the word's sake. Read.
In journeyings often.
He was traveling often. My brothers, hint, hint. We leaders, we got to move around. Read.
In perils of water.
Uh-huh.
In perils of robbers.
He was in perils of robbers. You think robbing just started? No, Negroes was robbing people back then. This is all the stuff that he had to maneuver through on his travels, pushing the gospel. His life was in danger. At the same time, he letting these young men know in Corinth, like, stop. We not on the same level. Y'all need to simmer down. Read.
In perils by my own countrymen.
He said, I was in perils. My life was in danger by my own countrymen, my own friends, some men that I call friend. My life was in danger around them. Remember when he was talking to Timothy, he said, look, this dude left me. That dude left me. He went in the world. This is the stuff that Paul was going through as a leader. Read.
In perils by the heathen.
And the heathen. His life was in danger with the heathen. Read on.
In perils in the city.
Uh-huh.
In perils in the wilderness.
Uh-huh.
In perils in the sea.
Uh-huh.
In perils among false brethren.
In perils amongst what?
False brethren.
What that mean right there? Let's get a mic over there to the prophets. What that mean? He said he was in perils of false brethren. What that mean?
The betrayers.
Betrayers. It's a stand up and speak. Stand up and speak. It's something that we would call a person like that. If they are false, they not no real brother. They a false brother. What would we call them? You thinking too deep. You thinking too deep. Who else got it?
I would say fake.
There you go. There you go. It wasn't nothing deep. Fake. So when he say false brethren, he was around fake brothers. They appeared to be brothers, but when stuff started happening, they got out of there on them. You can read that in 2 Timothy 4. Like, damn, wait, I thought you was my man. Damn, I thought you was about the gospel. Damn, wait, where you going? People disappearing on them. Read on.
In weariness and painfulness.
Uh-huh.
In watchings often. In hunger and thirst.
So weariness, he would be worried about what's going on. Read.
In fastings often.
He was fasting a lot. Hint, hint, brothers and sisters, we got to fast. We got to make sure we fast and read.
In cold and nakedness.
He was cold, nakedness, read.
Beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily.
This was on his mind daily. If you're a leader, this should be on your mind daily. Read.
The care of all the churches.
The what?
The care of all the churches.
One more time.
The care of all the churches.
Paul cared for all the churches. As a leader, we got to care about the body. If you don't care about the people, you shouldn't even be asking about being a leader. You shouldn't even be aspiring to it, thinking about it. If you are selfish, don't even think about leadership. Because with leadership, you have to care. He said with all that stuff he went through, what was at the forefront of his mind? One more time.
The care of all the churches.
The care of all the churches. That's why, brothers and sisters, the leadership might say, hey, sis, how you doing? How's everything going? That ain't just to pry. That's the role of the leader. He got to know that you all right because that's his responsibility. Not just you, that sister, that brother, that young man that just turned 19. He coming into a man. He growing into a man, so he having all type of thoughts and feelings. We got to check on him, make sure he don't slip up and do nothing. That's the role of a leader. Y'all understand that? From there, get John 21, verse 15. What did Christ tell Peter? Still talking about the mindset of a leader. What did Christ tell Peter? I'm going to get to the pain in a minute. What did Christ tell Peter? All of us that are young leaders, whether you young in age or young in spirit, meaning you ain't been in the truth that long, we need to pay attention to this. What did Christ tell Peter? John 21, verse 15. We're going to read to 18.
John chapter 21 and verse 15.
Come
on. So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time.
Stop right there. Prophets, why did Christ say this to Peter 3 times? Who know? Let me see who know.
Because Christ told Peter that he was going to deny him 3 times before the cock crew.
Exactly.
If I said that right.
Yep, exactly. So now Christ then resurrected. He talking to them. He then asked him. He said, feed my sheep 3 times. He said, you love me? Feed my sheep. Read on.
He saith unto him the 3rd time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the 3rd time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus said unto him, feed my sheep.
Real quick, stop right there. What do you feed the sheep with? Any prophets got it over there? What do we feed the sheep with? Better yet, wait, who are the sheep? Let me ask that, because we might got some new people. You might think Christ was telling him feed some actual sheep.
Shalom leadership.
Shalom, prophet.
The sheep are the people, children of Israel.
Got a scripture for me, sir?
Exodus 15:24.
Exodus 15:24? Nope.
Oh, Leviticus. Matthew 15:24.
Correct. Matthew 15:24. Let's get that. Write this down if you didn't know that.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24.
Somebody might have really thought he was telling him feed some actual sheep. No. Read that.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So you want to write down next to that? This is the scripture that shows us who the sheep are. The sheep are the children of Israel. He said, feed the sheep. What are you feeding the sheep with? Any prophets can help me over there? What are you feeding the sheep with? The sheep is Israel. So what we feeding them with? Soldier Ephraim.
We feed the sheep with the words of God.
Correct. You got a scripture for me?
I'm not sure.
You got to take a crack at it. Try. Strong or wrong. Try.
I will go to John chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
Okay. Not quite though. Soldier Iskar, what you got?
I was going to say Matthew 4:4.
Matthew 4:4. That's good. But we want to be specific. Get Jeremiah 3:15 for sake of time. Jeremiah 3:15 for sake of time. It's going to tell us what are the sheep being fed with. Write that down so y'all know that.
Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 15.
Read.
And I will give you pastors according to mine heart.
So the Lord is going to give us leaders according to his mind. Read.
Which shall feed you
With what?
with knowledge and understanding.
And the knowledge is the commandments. How we know that? Malachi 2:7. What just happened? We went precept upon precept. And this is all important. We ain't just going to these different precepts just to do it. It's all important. Malachi 2 verse 7 to explain that knowledge and understanding. What's that knowledge that we got to feed the people with? This for all you leaders. Read that.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7.
Read.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
So that is what the leaders should be feeding the people with. All these leaders that you see in the world, these motivational speakers, these pastors, these archbishop, whatever they call themselves, what is it, archbishop, diocese, whatever, all that stuff they call themselves in the Catholic Church, Christian church. They are not feeding our people with knowledge and understanding. But the prophets of God are feeding the people with knowledge and understanding. From there, get 1 Peter 5. It's a reason why we went that way. Now, that's what Christ had told Peter when he resurrected and when Peter was younger. Let's see, what is Peter's mindset as an older man? What is Peter going to tell us as leaders? 1 Peter 5, verse 1.
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
The elders which are among you, I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Christ.
Why is he saying that? Because he walked with Christ 3 years. He was there when everything took place. At this point in his life, he is an elder. He is a senior man. Read.
And also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of God.
Where he get that from? Christ told him that. So as leaders, we got to do the same thing. Read on.
Which is among you, taking the oversight thereof.
When you taking the oversight thereof, you are being diligent. You looking over the flock. You're being intentional. You're being proactive, not reactive. Because these souls are your responsibility. Read.
Not by constraint.
Not by constraint. Ain't nobody put no gun in your head. Hey, go check on that brother. Hey, go call that brother. Ain't nobody forcing you to do these things. Y'all understand? Same thing with you sisters. New sisters coming in here, they trying to learn how to be a repenting Israelite woman. You should have a joy to do that. But if you feel like you're being forced or it's a burden, you ain't got the spirit. You don't care for the people. Read.
Not by constraint. But willingly.
But what?
Willingly.
But what?
Willingly.
You a leader. You got to have a willing spirit to begin with. It take a level of patience. It take a level of being sincere to actually deal with people and make sure that they progressing and growing in the truth. You can't not care and do that. Read.
Not for filthy lucre.
Not for money. Read.
But of a ready mind.
Read on.
Neither as being lords over God's heritage. But being in samples to the flock.
Not trying to rule over the people with an iron fist like you a king and they your servants. It says, but being examples to the flock. You got to be example to the people. Be the example that they should follow. From there, get Proverbs 27 and 23. We spoke on this at the beginning. That's why the leadership asks and inquire, is you good? Is you okay? Everything all right? Don't be up there lying. If everything ain't all right, if you had a messed up week, say that. Y'all understand? We all going through it. We all got something that we struggling with every day, day to day. We in captivity. But don't be trying to put on no face and act like you good.
Right.
Proverbs 27:23.
Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 23.
Read.
Come on. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks.
That means the leadership got to know your mental state. Are you okay? That is the responsibility to the leadership. We got leadership set up all over. When they inquiring and asking questions, it's not just to pry, just to be prying or be in your business, just to be in your, no. They being in your business to look out for your soul. Y'all understand that? Read.
And look well to thy herds.
You got to look well to your herds. We got to look well to the herds. We got to look well to the flock that we have been set over. Again, it takes a man having to have that sincere care for the people to do that. If you don't care about the people, you're not going to do what this verse says. You're going to neglect the people. You're going to abandon the people. From there, get video 3. Talk to the leaders real quick. Get video 3. Get Sirach 10 and verse 1 and Proverbs 29 and 12. Read that. Play that for me.
Isn't doing what I want them to do. My instinct isn't to blame the team. My instinct is to look at myself and say, wait a second, how am I not leading them correctly where they will do what they need to do? What mistakes am I making that I can adjust and change so that I improve my ability to bring people into the organization. If my team isn't doing what I want them to do, my instinct isn't to blame the team. My instinct is to look at myself and say, wait a second, how am I not leading them correctly where they will do?
You can stop right there. It played back. So to my men in here that are leaders, when you over office and the office ain't working right, ain't nobody finna talk to the members. They finna go to you if you the head of the office. You could be in another state. If something going wrong, say you over cleanup. If something going wrong with cleanup, you getting the phone call. What's going on with this? And I know because it didn't happen to me. I done been traveling. Hey, officer, what the hell going on with it? I'm like, oh, man, damn. I'm going to fix it. That's it. You know why? Because it's on me. I have to lead. I have to give the direction to the team. Y'all understand that? Sisters, some of y'all might be in certain offices and got certain tasks. If your task is to pass information, your task is to do a certain thing, don't be up there making excuses. I'm going to fix it. Everybody understand that? Sirach 10, verse 1. You a leader, you got to take that blame. You got to take the bulk of the blame. That's how it go. You the man that's responsible for that thing. Don't make no excuse. Don't try to blame that person. You're responsible, especially when you start getting put over men. This your group of men that you got to build up. You got to teach. If something going on with him, you're going to be the one asked about it. Is he being built up? Is he being trained up in the scriptures? Is he being taught how to move as a leader? That's your responsibility. To the soldiers on up, when these men come in here, we have to teach them how to be a repenting Israelite man. That's our job. And you teach whether you open your mouth or not. Because soon as they see you, they see soldiers so-and-so, officers so-and-so. They watching how you talk, how you interact, and they going to follow that. Message. Read that.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 1.
Come on.
A wise judge will instruct his people.
A wise judge will instruct, will teach, will guide his people. Read.
And the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
A wise man is going to have his government well ordered. Read on.
As the judge of the people is himself.
Hey, this scripture right here, you're going to hear this thing. This thing going to spin a block on you as long as you in this truth. As a leader, this thing going to hit the corner and smack you in the face so many times. Bam. You're like, oh, man. Because that's your responsibility. You got to set the tone as a leader. There's no wiggle room. There's not no way around it. If you over office, if you a team lead or something, the team ain't flourishing, you got to look in that glass thing in your bathroom. You understand? Y'all understand that? You got to take that accountability. Read that one more time.
As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Think about it. I'm going to use a worldly example. The same way Michael Jordan was playing, did not all the rest of the Bulls players play like that? They weren't necessarily Mike, but Mike was going hard, so they was going hard. They was giving it they all, just like him. Same thing with the Lakers. Kobe was giving it his all. Shaq was giving his all. Then the rest of the team was following behind them because they was the leaders. They was setting the tone. Y'all understand that? So it's the same thing. But if you lazy, if you slothful, if you MIA, if you don't never pick your phone up, if you ain't doing what you supposed to do, how you think everybody going to be in your team or up under you? They going to follow the example that you setting. So you got to be the example that you want to see. Everybody understand that? Read on.
An unwise king destroyeth his people.
An unwise king will destroy his people. Read on.
But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
A wise man will have that thing in order. A wise man will have that thing well structured. Go to the next precept that say the same thing. Proverbs 29:12. This one gonna hit a little harder. This is for us as leaders.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
Well, if that's how you roll, that's how they gonna roll. That's how it go. It's no way around it. And when you be in that position where something went wrong, a lot of times, brother want to try to, but that was him. You over it? Yes. You responsible for it? Yes. That's your fault. I'm telling y'all. I've been there. I know. I'm telling you. It's your fault. So you got to fix it. Or, in you fixing it, you might have to move some people out the group. Y'all understand? That's you looking well to the flocks. Okay, yeah, you lazy. Bye. You got to start booting people. You got to start giving people the boot. You got to have that thing well ordered because you're responsible for it. Everybody understand that? From there, get video 4. The importance of character in leadership. Video 4. And then we going to get them AI overviews.
I've talked to lots of business people about leadership, and there's a literature on leadership, but it's not a good literature. It's pretty shallow. Partly because it's not that easy to define leadership, and partly because there are different, people have different temperaments, and different temperaments can be leaders. They just do it in different ways.
Stop
now,
right
there's
there.
something in common about
What he just said is heavy because different leaders move in different ways. Y'all understand? Everybody not the same. Even when you look at the disciples, when you saw James and John, what was their spirit? Brothers, what was their spirit? Anybody, whoever got it.
James and John were more on the meeker side. They wanted to, they looked more to follow than to step out.
Not quite.
As opposed to Peter, who was more boisterous.
Yeah, but them two there, they wasn't, how can I say it? They wasn't reserved. I'm referring back to something. Go ahead.
Right. They were called the sons of thunder. They were powerful.
They was called the sons of thunder. Remember when they went to that city and the people didn't want to hear the word, what did they ask Christ could they do? Y'all follow me? They asked Christ, can we call fire down from heaven? Christ was like, what's wrong with y'all? The Son of Man is here to give life. Y'all don't know what spirit y'all in. Y'all tripping right now.
Right.
But it's a purpose for that type of spirit. That's why he said different leaders got different temperaments, but they can still be leaders. It's a time and a place for you to be like that. Then it's a time and a place for you to be more reserved and look at the situation. Y'all follow? Play on.
because it's not that easy to define leadership, and partly because there are different, people have different temperaments, and different temperaments can be leaders. They just do it in different ways. Now, there's something in common about being a leader, though, and I would say one is that if you're an actual leader, you actually know where you're going, right? Because what are you going to do? Lead people in circles? It's like maybe they'll follow you, but you're not a leader. You're just a charlatan. So you have to know where you're going.
Stop. You got to have direction, brothers. If you end up being a charlatan, ain't nobody going to follow you. You got to be able to have some direction about yourself because people could see that. You can only front for so long. Play on.
You have to be able to communicate that, and then people have to trust you, so you actually have to be honest because people aren't that stupid, at least not for a long period of time.
Stop right there. I'm trying to get through this first time stamp. He dropping bombs. He said, as a leader, you have to be honest. You got to tell people the truth. If you're not doing that, that's only going to last for so long. They're going to see through your BS.
Bring it out.
We got to take heed to this. Talking to my leaders in here. Play.
And then where you're going has to have some value, because otherwise, why would anyone want to go along with you? And then you might say, well, what are the attributes then that make you a leader? And I would say, well, they're characterological, fundamentally. And this is not naive optimism or casual moralizing. It has nothing to do with that. You know, we know, for example, that conscientiousness, the personality trait, is a good predictor of long-term success in most occupations, not all, but most, and that one of the things that's associated with conscientiousness is that people keep their word, they're trustworthy. And that's certainly one element of a leader, especially across any reasonable amount of time. You have to be able to trust the person. They can even be harsh, right? It doesn't matter, because you can see harsh leaders and kind leaders. But as long as they do what they say they will do, then you can follow them and you know that the future payoff is secure, something like that. So the idea that characterological development is more important to leadership than being a firstborn, that's a very crucial psychological realization, that it's characterological development that makes you favored of God. You know, and I do think we've forgotten this in many ways, because there isn't a lot of emphasis in our education system on characterological development.
What he just said was heavy. I know he said a lot of big words, but what he said was heavy. He said another trait is you have to be trustworthy. You have to keep your word. If you somebody that don't keep your word, that's not a good trait. You got to work on that. Are you somebody that's dependable? Because if you keep your word and you trustworthy, then the people can trust you. They can follow you. He said, even if you harsh. Remember in Corinthians, Paul said, though I be rude in speech, not in knowledge, because Paul used to be getting on them when you read the letters. He had to check them a couple times, but it was necessary. But Paul was trustworthy. Paul had a good track record. Like we just read in 2 Corinthians, Paul could talk like that because he was actually boots on the ground. He was traveling from country to country. He was putting his life on the line so he could speak like that. The people would listen, because he had them traits. We got to have those traits as leaders. Y'all understand that? Let's get that next time stamp.
Characterological goal.
Hey, pause real quick. You can't be that brother that be like, yeah, I'm going to be there tomorrow, such and such. And then you always, oh, man, something came up. And then you do it again. Oh, man, something came up. Now you known as the flake brother. He might come, he might not. He may come through, he might not come through. He may do it, he might not. You don't want that on your name. Because now when it's time for something to be done and your name come up, everybody like, I don't know. Sisters too. We got stuff that need to be done. We might need some help with decorations or something, and then people start dropping sisters' names. It's like, who you say? I don't know about her. Well, why? She rarely come through. You don't want that on your name, because that'll follow you. So y'all could glean from this as well. Get timestamp too. Sisters, y'all got to be dependable and trustworthy too.
Characterological goal. So we just throw up our hands and don't educate our kids to any degree at all, especially in schools, about what an admirable person is like, or even let them know that, well, maybe you should actually try to be one.
What he just said is heavy. He said in today's society, they don't educate kids on what it is to be an admirable person, a trustworthy person, a noble person. They don't even teach them how to be one. And that's a characteristic that we must have. We cannot be the same way as the people in the Christian church, y'all. When the people come in here, when they look on the women's side, they pose to see different. When they look on the men's side, they pose to see different, especially with you men, because you are the what? The leaders. Y'all understand that? From there, let's get that AI overview. Now we finna start going into this pain. What are the pains that leaders face? And then we going to get some examples. I'm going to give you the scripts right now, soldier. Get 1 Maccabees 13 and 14. That's the first script we going to. We going to get some real live examples, because leadership ain't easy. These are some hard situations we finna read about. Let's get that AI overview. That first one, the weight of leadership. And blow that up so we can see that. You know, y'all got to have charity. We wear glasses. Got to put that out there. See that, soldier? I'm looking out for us, bruh.
All praise. Thank you, sir.
All praise to the Father. Go ahead, read that.
The weight of leadership is the heavy mental, emotional, and spiritual pressure that comes with responsibility, decision-making, and guiding others.
That's the weight of leadership. Read on.
It is a tangible burden, often characterized by loneliness, sleepless nights, and the need for constant, poised decision-making under scrutiny.
Because what? You get scrutinized because no matter what the decision is that you make, somebody going to have a problem with it. Do you not read that in the Bible? Whatever Moses tried to do, it was a problem. Somebody had something to say because you can't please everybody. That's one of the things that you deal with as a leader. It's just like somebody says it's hot in here, you turn the heat off, then somebody say it's cold. Then somebody say it ain't enough space in between the chairs. We try to maneuver the chairs, then somebody say, well, why you maneuver the chairs like that? It's never ending. It's never ending. That's how it is. Read on.
Leaders must balance this strain to avoid burnout.
Read on.
Key aspects of the weight of leadership.
So these is key aspects. Listen good.
Hidden burdens. Leaders often deal with silent stress, anxiety,
read,
and the pressure to always appear strong, creating a profound invisible load.
Read. I'm going to say that too. Ain't nobody appearing to be strong because just because you a leader don't mean you don't go through nothing. I remember a prophet said, man, it looked like that. I said, what? I started telling him how my day went. I had a crazy day. It was right before the radio show. I'm like, bruh, let me tell you what happened. Because you a leader, you not bulletproof. You still catch hell. Just want to put that out there. You sisters that's married to men as leaders, they still catching hell. Them being a leader don't mean they exempt. That'd be nice. You got a little break for a little while. It don't work like that. Read on.
The solitude of decision making.
It's a tough one right here. Read.
Even with a team, key decisions and final accountability often rest on one person, leading to profound loneliness.
That's true. Because whatever the decision is that leader make, it fall on him. Read.
Stewardship and accountability. Leadership is often viewed as a weighty stewardship to serve others.
That's what it is. It's not, leadership is not about you, yourself, or your personal aspirations. No, you're serving others. Everybody understand that? That's what you're doing. Read.
Requiring sacrifices of self-interest.
Read that one more time. I ain't want us to brush past that. Read that one more time.
Leadership is often viewed as a weighty stewardship to serve others, requiring sacrifices of self-interest.
You sacrifice a lot as a leader. That's you being on the phone late night because a brother just called and the issue just happened. On your end, you might got to get up at 4 in the morning. But this issue just happened. That's the sacrifice that leaders make. You might got to go to somebody's house. That's the sacrifice that leaders make. You might got to actually, it may be a sister that got a son, a young son, she having trouble with him. Guess what? The leaders got to actually get involved. We going to take him. He going to come play basketball with us for a few hours. Then we going to take him out to eat. And we going to sit and talk with him because he don't got no man he could talk to. The leaders got to be involved like that. Right. Y'all understand that? Read.
Risks of burnout. Without careful management of this weight.
Listen good, brothers.
Leaders risk burnout. Codependency. And strained relationships.
So you got to have a balance to you Because with you taking care of all these different people and situations, who else you got to take care of? Yourself. That's the weight of leadership. That's why I got to go back to the dumb comment about eating first. Brothers be worried about the wrong thing. You got to worry about all these people, all their problems. You got to worry about who actually doing better and who not. And then at the end of that, you got to worry about yourself. Then let's not forget the brothers that's married. They got to worry about the wife. They got to worry about the kids. Y'all understand that? This a lot of weight. Next point, read on.
Managing the weight.
Uh-huh.
Shared responsibility. Avoiding the temptation to carry everything alone by involving others in the process.
That's why you got your core, you got your senior man. That load is spread out. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The workload gets spread out. That's why when you men get raised up, you get raised up so you can help bear that load. Y'all understand? You're not raised up to sit on your behind. You might be needed. Hey, we need you two soldiers. Go over here with the officer. The sister having problems with her son. He acting up in school. Y'all might got to go over there and handle that. Because one man can't take care of all these people. Y'all understand that? I want to say this too. You sisters, y'all going to have to step up and deal with the teenage girls. Y'all understand? They going to need senior women that actually care about them, actually give a damn. Y'all been there, y'all done that, y'all got life experience, and y'all in this truth. Y'all got to be that example to them. Read on.
Prioritize sustainability.
Uh-huh.
Focusing on sustainable energy rather than fear-driven models to prevent burnout.
Read.
Authenticity over perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Leading with honesty and integrity rather than pretending to have all the answers.
Don't do that, brothers. We don't have all the answers. If you ask something or you need help with something, we ain't got the answer. We're going to get the answer for you. Y'all got to be the same way. If y'all don't know something or y'all don't have the answer, tell them you'll get back to them and get them the correct answer or the correct help that they need. You understand? Don't try to act like you got it all together. None of us got it all together.
Right.
Read on.
Proactive breaks.
This is important, brothers. Read.
Taking time to disengage and think clearly.
Now, hold on. That don't mean that you just abandon ship. Everybody understand? That means you might need to take a step away, go send up prayers, go meditate in the scriptures. You might have to call one of the senior men over you and talk and just vent. Maybe you had a bad day, and then, all right, you shake it off, and then you right back to it. Y'all understand? Read.
Taking time to disengage and think clearly allows for better long-term decision-making.
Because when you got a lot on your mind, it's hard for you to focus on everything that's going on. Am I lying? I do it. I got to take a step away for a minute. You might got to take you a ride, take a walk if you're able to, step outside on your porch for a minute. You got to do that. Y'all understand? Next one.
Ultimately, the weight is not just about rank, but the responsibility of carrying the care and direction of others.
Can you read that bottom part again? It need to sink in. What Bishop say, it need to be butter on the biscuit. Read it again.
Ultimately, the weight is not just about the rank, but the responsibility of carrying the care and direction of others.
That's what the weight is, my brothers. Caring for the responsibility of others. You got an office, you got an event you putting together, you got to make sure it's food for who? The body. You got to make sure it's secure for who? The body. It's all about caring about the people. Y'all understand? Next one.
Leaders face significant burdens, including intense emotional stress, decision fatigue, and extreme loneliness.
Read.
They bear the weight of ultimate accountability for organizational results, managing the consequences of difficult choices.
Because however it fall, it's going to fall on the leader. Y'all understand? Read.
Managing the consequences of difficult choices and navigating constant criticism or unpopularity.
You're not going to be liked all the time. I'm going to show y'all that. You're not going to be liked. Sometimes it's not going to be because you necessarily did something wrong. Maybe it's a decision that you made and everybody don't like it. It's going to happen, brothers. I'm just telling you. You cannot please everybody.
Message.
Read on.
Key burdens leaders face: emotional and physical toll. High stress, chronic fatigue, anxiety, and potential health issues.
Read.
Resulting from relentless demands.
Read on.
Isolation and loneliness. Leaders often lack peers in whom they can confide.
Now that right there, that's not true for us in here because you got people you can confide in. You understand? Because other leaders is going to understand what it feel like. I know the shoes of a soldier because I've been there. You understand? I know the shoes. You get what I'm saying? I know the weight that you bear. I could confide in the men over me because they know the weight. Other leaders is going to understand what it's like dealing with all these things, so you're not alone. Read on.
Creating a sense of being alone at the top. Responsibility for others.
That right there. Read.
The heavy, persistent responsibility for employees, livelihood, morale, and safety.
That right there, that's something that is always on the forefront of your mind. Man, is this brother good? Man, is this brother okay? Man, what's up with sis? Is sis all right? I hope she's doing better. That's always on your mind. Because you hope that people change. You hope that they fix themselves. But it's only so much you can do. Read on.
Decision-making pressure. Making high-stakes decisions with limited information and living with the consequences.
Sometimes that can happen. Let's hit these last 2 bullet points. You ain't got to read the whole thing. I want to get to that last screenshot.
Dealing with unpopularity.
You got to deal with unpopularity. Maybe you the one that get on people behind. You ain't going to be liked. I'm telling you. But guess what? Is that necessary? Yes, because people can't do what they want in here. So you're not going to be liked. Maybe you the person that tries to make sure everybody is taken care of, so the selfish person not going to like you. It's going to happen. Read.
Character and integrity challenges. Maintaining authenticity when tempted by shortcuts or when facing reputational risk.
Sometimes you have people that try to persuade you to do things their way when you're a leader. I'm letting you know. They will do that. Hey, I think it should be like this, but you know, that's my preference. They trying to get in your ear. They trying to run the situation through you, and you can't let that ride. Everybody understand that? Let's get this last one.
Examples of leadership burdens. Laying awake at night trying to solve problems or meet payroll. Standing alone to defend a sound decision that is unpopular.
That right there, that's what you're going to deal with, brothers. You're going to have to stand on a decision that was unpopular. Everybody else did not like it. Read on.
Having to deliver difficult feedback or firing an employee.
You know what I compare that to? That's when you might got to kick somebody out of office. You might got to kick somebody up out of here. That's difficult. That's not fun. That's not okay. But that's what come with it. Because what is the ultimate thing that's on your mind? To care for everybody else. If you don't want to act right, we can't let you stay up in here and you don't want to act right. You got to go. That's a hard decision. Because that person that might not be acting right, you might care about that person, but they out the spirit right now. That's difficult. That's difficult. Even to call a person, hey, you got to fall back. We'll call you when we hear something. That's difficult. To be on them type of phone calls. Read on.
Absorbing market volatility to shield their team from panic.
You know, a lot of these, they be looking at it from the workplace of leadership. Jump down to them synonyms. Hit these synonyms real quick.
Synonyms. Weight of command.
Because you the one that got to make the decision. Read.
Leadership loneliness.
People not around you feel like that could understand what you deal with. Like I said, brothers, that's not true. You got other leaders in here that you can confide in that understand what everything entails, what it's like. Read.
Decision-making strain.
Decision-making strain. You got to make hard decisions. Difficult decisions. Read.
The lonely top.
Mm-hmm. That's going back to that feeling like nobody else understand. Read.
Leadership, sacrifice, and pressure.
Those is all the things that you deal with. Let's get video 5.
And this is something that I don't think is talked about enough online, right? We all talk about being a leader. We all talk about going out there, creating big organizations, leading our families, leading our businesses, leading our communities. Now, I think that it's important that you understand there is a burden of leadership. There's a stress, a weight that comes with it. I promise you that a bad day, we all have bad days, right? But when you have a bad day and you're the only one who suffers, it's much different than when you have a bad day and you're responsible for 45, 50 people. It brings a weight and a burden that you need to be ready for as you scale, as you grow, your overhead, your amount of employees. You need to be hardening the mind and preparing for the burden of leadership, because if you don't prepare, you will simply be crushed by the weight. And so I think it's important to talk about this, because you need to be preparing right now. If you have ambitions to grow a big business, if you have ambitions to be a fucking family man, you need to know what is coming. And I promise you, it is a fucking war that you need to fortify your mind. The burden.
Okay, you could drop that. He said something heavy. Excuse the language. But he said something heavy. It's different when the bad day only affects you versus it affecting 45, 50 people. It's a different weight that you bear. Y'all understand that? Very different. From there, get 1 Maccabees 13.
1 Maccabees.
I done wrote too much again. Wow.
First Maccabees.
Man. Go ahead.
Chapter 13 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan, and meant to join battle with him, he sent messengers unto him, saying, whereas we have Jonathan thy brother in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king treasury.
So what happened right here? Jonathan, one of the brothers of Simon, has been taken hostage. Now, this Edomite, Tryphon, said, we took him for money. So we hold him for ransom. So he said, read on.
Concerning the business that was committed unto him. Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver, and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty, he may not revolt from us. And we will let him go.
Read.
Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him.
Read.
Yet sent he the money and the children Yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure he should procure to himself great hatred of the people.
So you got to think about that. Esau just told him, send your brother kids and the money, and we going to let them go. In his mind, he already peeping the scene like they not finna let my brother go. They finna kill my brother. But he thinking too, if I don't send the kids and the money, then everybody gonna hate me. They gonna say, you ain't even try to get Jonathan back. Is that not a hard decision? He had a hard decision to make. He sent the kids anyway. What did Esau do? Esau killed his brother and his nephews. And what happened? He had to bury his brother. But he still had to make a decision to the best of his ability. Even though either way it went, he was going to be blamed. That's what you deal with as a leader. Get 1 Samuel 30. 1 Samuel 30. Gonna have to drop some stuff. I heard somebody say part 2. 1 Samuel 30 and verse 1.
1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 1.
Come
on. And it came to pass, when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the 3rd day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag, and burned it with fire, and had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away, and went on their way.
So stop right there. Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines and out of the land of Judah. And David smote them from the twilight, even...
verse 5. That's what we wanted. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And David's 2 wives were taken captives, Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite.
Read.
And David was greatly distressed.
Read on.
For the people spake of stoning him.
What? Read that one more time.
And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him.
The people was talking about killing him. Man, these Edomites and Philistines, they came through here, kidnapped our wives and children. Man, it's your fault. Huh? Why? Because he the king. He's the king. So they blaming him. When you a leader, people will blame you. You will take the bulk of the blame. Understand that 100% of the time. Read.
For the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters.
Read on.
But David encouraged himself in the Lord.
Brothers, remember this. If it's ever a situation like that, you got to encourage yourself in the Lord. You got to send up prayers. If it's ever a tough decision you got to make or a tough outcome, and it feel like everything just a ton of bricks is falling on you, you got to encourage yourself in the Lord. Message. Because we jumped ahead. You see in the end, David and the men, they was able to rescue all the women and the children that was captive. But in this brief moment, everybody was pointing the finger at him. That's the pains of leadership. Y'all understand that? From there, get Amos 5 and 10. And get Sirach 10 and 21. Get both of them. I'm going to show you 2 things right here.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 21.
5 and 10.
5
and Sirach 10 and 21.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 10.
Yep, get that one first. Read.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
Sometimes you are hated because you correct people. To rebuke means to correct. As a leader, you can be hated because of that. You are the one that called people on their BS. Ain't nobody gonna like you. Same thing on the sister side. You might be that sister that, hey, sis, that ain't right. That's out of order. You know we supposed to do this, that, and the third. You're not gonna be liked. I'm just telling you. That don't mean you trim your ways, but that's what come with it. Why? Read that verse again.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
They hate him that correct, or she that corrects. Get Sirach 10-21. This is another way you could be hated. Now, this is the flip side. This is the opposite. And we don't want this.
So
you don't want this. Read.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 21.
Come
on. The fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority.
That's supposed to happen first. You're supposed to have fear of the Lord first before you obtain authority. Read.
But roughness and pride is the losing thereof.
So roughness and pride will cause you to lose that position, lose that authority. And not only that, you will be hated. If you are the person that is being rough, being abusive to the people, to the body, you will be hated. People will not like you. Oh, him, he coming over here. I don't want to talk to him. Why? He rude. He disrespectful. Her, she disrespectful. She need to, I don't want to talk to her. She hosting something. I don't want to deal with her. Don't nobody want to deal with you because you don't know how to deal with people. Some people don't know how to deal. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Don't know how to talk to people. You will end up being hated if that is you. From there, get Numbers 14-2. Numbers chapter 14, verse 2.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 2.
Come
on. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses.
They did what?
Murmured against Moses.
Read on.
And against Aaron.
And
the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness?
Y'all know Moses dealt with this stuff over and over and over. You read in one part of the history, Negroes was like, man, in Egypt we had cucumbers, honey, milk, watermelon. Man, unsatisfied. That's how it is. You're going to deal with the complaints. That's what come with it. Prepare yourself. Somebody always got a problem. We ain't talking about people that need help. We talking about them ones that always finding something to complain about. You going to deal with that. Well, why she get the park right there? You know, sis walk with a cane. You know that, right? But I want to park in the front. Okay. Bruh. This is the stuff we deal with. This is the stuff you're going to deal with as a leader. From there, get Philippians 2. Philippians 2, verse 4. I got to make sure we get that last thing. Philippians 2, verse 4.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 4.
Come
on. Look not every man on his own thing.
This got to be your mind as a leader. Read.
But every man also on the things of others.
You got to care about the people. It's not all about you. Read on.
Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus.
So what is Paul telling the congregation in Philippi? What is Paul telling us? Because we reading these words now. That was Christ's mindset. He cared about the people. That's the mindset that we supposed to have. Let's read that real quick. All praise. I like that, BT. Let's read that real quick.
Leaders carry burden. Everybody wants the title. Few want the weight that comes with it.
That's facts. Read.
Leadership isn't about the spotlight.
Some people want to be seen. That's facts. Read.
It's about the load you're willing to carry when others can't.
Read on.
It's the silent pressure that never clocks out.
Read.
The responsibility that keeps you up at night because you care too much to settle.
Read on.
Leaders don't get to tap out when it's heavy. They absorb the tension, protect the team, and find a way forward when everyone else freezes.
Read.
It's not fair, but it's what comes with the role.
Read on.
You lead by example, not by comfort.
Y'all understand that, man? That means you ain't always in the best of spirits, but you got to keep pushing. You may have had a messed up week, but these people need you. These brothers, these sisters, these children, they need the sanctuary open. We ain't got time for I'm tired. Right. I done been tired of plenty of times. Nobody know that though. I'm just going because it ain't about me. Oh man, my wife, I got wife, kids too. Now what? Brothers that heard me say this a bunch of times. Okay, we got to keep going because it's not about us. It's about the people. You could drop that from there. It's some more on that. Yep. Go ahead, read on. BT say one jot, one tittle. Go ahead, read.
By composure, not by control.
You got to be composed.
By consistency,
Mm-hmm.
not by convenience.
Not when it's on your terms. If a brother call you and he need to talk, you got to talk. My phone be ringing. I got to talk. It's sometimes where I can't, but I call back. I text back something. Read.
Leadership means carrying the weight, not because you have to, but because you choose to.
That's right. Read. Look like it's some wording on top of it. Because you understand.
Because you
the difference. Yep.
Because you understand the difference between burden and purpose.
You drop that. From there, get John 10 and verse 11. And then it's this last thing that we got to cover. This is what I've been waiting to get to. Let's get this last thing. John 10 verse 11. And this thing I've been waiting to get to this part. Then we got a few more minutes. I got to touch on this for leadership. This last little thing. Get that definition for arrogance ready too. I see y'all got this article. Scroll up real quick. Scroll down, scroll down. You could drop this. For the sake of time, you could drop that. Let's get John 10, verse 11. We're going to get that definition of arrogance after this. Get John 10, verse 11.
John chapter 10 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. I am the good shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
Read.
He that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep.
Read.
And fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep.
Hey, stop right there. You know what Christ just did? Christ just showed us the difference between a real leader and a fake leader. The real leader is going to stand there and going to be there for the people. The fake leader, they're going to leave when adversity comes. So when you a leader, know that adversity is going to come. You can't disappear. You can't leave the people hanging. These brothers, these sisters, these children, these fatherless children, some children is fatherless children in here. We got to be fathers to the fatherless. That's what come with being a leader. Same thing, my sisters, I can't forget y'all. Y'all got to be mothers to these young girls in here. Don't matter if it ain't your daughter. You got to treat her like she your daughter. She might come in young. She might be a little rough around the edges. You got to help her out. That's what we here for. Right. Read on.
I am the good shepherd. And know my sheep. And am known of mine.
Read.
As the Father knoweth me, even so I the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
You can stop right there. So Christ was a real leader. That's the traits that we got to have. Christ fed the people. He healed the people. He raised people from the dead. And he gave his life for the people. That's the traits that we must have as leaders. What is that saying? He cared for the people. We have to care. If you don't care, you ain't fit to be no leader. From there, last thing, definition of arrogance. Y'all gonna see where we going in a minute. Get Proverbs 16 and 18, Proverbs 11 and 2. Get both of them. Let's read this definition first.
Arrogant describes an insulting attitude of superiority, where a person acts as they are more important, skilled, or intelligent than others.
We cannot have that spirit, brothers. What is that going into? Pride. As a leader, we can't have that spirit on us. If you deal with it, you got to shake it, because that's not of the Lord. The Lord, the Bible says the Lord resisteth the what? The proud. Read on.
It involves excessive pride, haughtiness.
We didn't read that. Who done read that word in the Bible? Haughtiness. That's what that means. That go back to pride. You think your ish don't stink. You can't have that spirit. Read.
It involves excessive pride, haughtiness, and often dismissive or rude behavior.
You often dismissive and rude. You dismiss people. You don't want to hear what nobody got to say. Like they not of value to you. They don't mean nothing. They word don't hold no weight. I ain't got to listen to you. If you like that, that's not of the Lord. You can't deal like that in here. Read.
Arrogant individuals frequently ignore others.
They do what?
Frequently ignore others.
As a leader, we can't do that. We cannot ignore others' opinions, they problems, they ideas, stuff they might want to talk about. We can't ignore the people, brothers. Y'all understand? Read.
Frequently ignore others' opinions due to their exaggerated self-worth.
Due to this image that they got of themselves in their head. Drop that. Get Proverbs 16 and 18. Let's see what the Bible say. As leaders, we got to be mindful of that prideful spirit.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18.
Read.
Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before the fall.
You see, the word is in the scriptures. It said pride goes before destruction. Pride is the beginning of destruction. Once you start rolling in that spirit, you ain't got long before you come crashing down. Be mindful of that. And it said a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 11 and 2.
Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 2.
Be mindful of this spirit, leaders. Be mindful of it. Read.
A false balance is abomination to the Lord.
Proverbs 11 and 2.
Verse 2. Verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom.
It says, when pride cometh, then cometh shame. Pride will bring shame unto you. Another thing with that prideful spirit as a leader, you can't be like so puffed up like you don't want to ask for help. You need help. It's okay as a leader to ask for help, ask for assistance. Y'all understand that? You can't do it all on your own. From there, get Proverbs 29 verse 23.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 23.
Another thing with that prideful spirit, you act like you got it all together. But behind closed doors, you falling apart because of pride. Read.
A man's pride shall bring him low.
That's what pride will do. It will bring you low, brothers and sisters. Be mindful of that spirit. Read.
But honor shall uphold the humble in spirit.
It says honor will uphold the humble in spirit. We have to have humility. From there, Sirach 10 verse 12. We're going to read 12 and 13.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse Verse 12.
Yep, read.
The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God.
You see how deadly that spirit is? They said pride, it says pride is the beginning. Pride, the beginning of pride is when one departed from God. So once you get that spirit on you, you departing from the Lord. You got it. You got it all together. You have it all figured out. You don't need nobody. That's a dangerous spirit to be in. And anytime I done seen somebody get like that, they did not stick around in this truth. You know why? Because can't nobody tell them nothing. Nobody. It don't matter who it is, because they got it. They got all the answers. Read.
And his heart is turned away from his maker.
Your heart turned away from your maker. Your heart is turned away from God. Read.
For pride is the beginning of sin.
That's the beginning of sin. You ain't listening to nobody. You got all the answers. You know everything. What's stopping you from sinning? Read.
And he that hath it shall pour out abomination.
Ain't nothing good coming out of you. Ain't nothing good coming from you. Read.
And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly.
That's what happened to those with that spirit of pride. From there, get 1 Samuel 2 verse 3. 1 Samuel 2 and verse 3. We heard this scripture before. We got to keep it at the forefront of our mind with that spirit of pride.
1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3.
With all them things that we spoke on in this lesson tonight, we got to be mindful of that spirit of pride. Read that.
Talk no more exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth.
Read.
For the Lord is a God of knowledge. And by him actions are weighed.
The Lord don't care about what you saying. He look at your actions. But what we looking at right here, that arrogancy, let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. We should not be prideful. We should not feel like we cannot be taught anything anymore. We've hit our spiritual ceiling. We've reached the mountaintop. All of us in here is still learning and we still trying to get right. Just because whatever position you have, that don't mean you know everything. That don't mean you don't need help sometimes. But pride will make you think you don't need nobody. You know everything. You got it. And that's going to be your downfall. So we got to be mindful of that spirit. All right. That's going to conclude the class. Hope y'all got something out of that. You got to take heed to these things.